Welcome to Inspire Marketing, our monthly space to connect, update, and be seen. Every first Wednesday at 8 p.m. Welcome to Inspire Marketing, our monthly space to connect, update, and be seen. Every first Wednesday. Welcome to Inspire Marketing, our monthly space to connect, update, and be seen. Every first Wednesday at 8 p.m. Welcome to Inspire Marketing, our monthly space to connect, update, and be seen. Every first Wednesday. Welcome to Inspire Marketing, our monthly space to connect, update, and be seen. Every first Wednesday at 8 p.m. Welcome to Inspire Marketing, our monthly space to connect, update, and be seen. Every first Wednesday.
See me. Hopefully, I think so. Hey, Marchers! I am so happy. Well, our Inspiring Marketing of the month. This is amazing. So, looks like a long time we not see each other, right? I don't know. So, if you can hear me well and see me well, please type okay or hi in our chat and it'll be good. Let me see here our chat on YouTube. Just see if everything is going well. Well, I think, let me just turn off here notifications. Okay. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm not really sure. So let's see if it's working properly. No. Yeah, I think I'm receiving a message saying it's not possible to hear me. Let's see here if okay, so I can see Ana Paula saying you can hear me. Amazing, perfect. So this is great. If you can hear me, this is amazing. So let's start. Well, I will share my screen with you. And I hope you're well. I hope you have your drink. It can be water, tea, wine. It'll be our session, our quick session of the month. So don't worry, it is not a long session. It's just for we catch up and then we keep ourselves, like seeing each other. It's important. Let me share my screen now and then, yes, I'd say put here to present. Let me move here. Show. Perfect. I'm going to leave that here. Like that. At the moment, just myself. Yeah, perfect. Amazing. I think it can work properly. Yeah, much better now. So, welcome to our Inspiring Marketing of April. It's a monthly space to connect, learn, and feel part of a marketing community. So every first Wednesday of the month, we'll be here at 8 p.m. So please join us. We are marketing in Ireland community where immigrant marketers grow, connect, and succeed. This is why we exist and why we are here tonight. And please, if you can, share this meeting link with a friend. Have you got a drink? So, coffee, tea, water, whatever you prefer, please grab your drink, and that would be nice. Uh, 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 our agenda. So basically, I'm I'm share some trends and news, and we have a guest today, our community member, and then yeah, some updates about the community. So today, our the topic for this Inspire Marketing, it is about interviews in Ireland. And just to be crystal clear, this is not a class or a course or workshop about interviews. It's a moment that, as a member community, we are here and maybe we can chat, we can discuss, we can share some insights. So, if you want, if you have a question, if you'd like to, I don't know, maybe know our opinion about some specifically questions and topics, please send your message here in the YouTube chat, and then we can maybe answer you. Okay, that'd be lovely. So it's kind of a relaxed conversation. I prepare something for us, but nothing really deep. So if you want to chat, just let me know and then we can have a chat now. Uh, cool. The first point that I'd like to share, well, it's not really a trend, but it's kind of a question mark. Reddit, it's been have been really active. I can see a lot of news about Reddit. If you never saw Reddit before, please start doing a research about this community platform slash social media. I'm not pretty sure. I never used not yet, but I'm considering at the moment using Reddit for my SEO strategy. So yeah, it looks really promising, and I can see at least in US, the Reddit uh, year by year is improving. It's like it's getting traction. So, and I can see as well when we're doing research online, kind of always I can see some question and answer from Reddit. So maybe there are more about this platform or this community that we could know or understand. I had this information here. Like Reddit reported 116 million users in quarter two 2025, a 19% increase of the same quarter the year before. So among the US, adults 26% report using Reddit. So compare with 18 4 years ago. This is quite interesting, and I'm big fan to I'm big fan to start something before being a trend, because you can have a lot from that, and then you can like surf the wave and have benefit from it. Maybe it's nothing, maybe just a small signal, but as a marketer, as a marketing professionals, I think we should look at that and understand if that makes sense or doesn't make sense for the type of business that you're working for, or for your strategy, or just to know. So yeah, every inspiring marketing, I try to bring insight, a trend, or some information that can be relevant to us. Okay, it's not a news, it's not a newspaper, but it's kind of some updates about our industry. And please, if there are other type of news or information that you'd like to see here in our Inspire Marketing, just send to us in our WhatsApp group, and or comment here. Then I'd be nice to chat about, to talk about. Okay, let's move forward. About our topic, I'd like to just make some comments before invite our guest. Every Inspire Marketing, we have a guest from the community that we would like to they introduce themselves, they talk about them challenge, and add something to the topic that we are discussing. So then, yeah, it's really really interesting. But before I invite our guest, um, I bring with me some notes that I think it's quite relevant to chat with you. So uh, what do interviews look like in Ireland? Like, I am from Brazil, and I think I don't know. Doesn't matter where you're from. I believe you, if you're not from Ireland originally, you probably have faced some different type of interview process in your own country, and then coming to Ireland, few things can be quite or slightly different. So I don't think everything changed just because we are immigrants, just because we are international candidates. But the point is, we need to recognize what is different, and then we'll be able to, like, walk through what do we need to do in the industry locally. And I think as marketing professionals, the same way how we uh, talk about planning and for the marketing strategy, and then the to do and step by step and be strategic in our marketing plans. I think we need to be extremely strategic as well when you're looking for opportunities in a different country. So in Ireland, we can see there are a lot of behavior questions. It's quite very common. Uh, Focus on real examples and not just opinions. This is quite the interview here is more structured than from where I'm from. Um, Interviewers ask follow-up questions as well. This is something that usually it's not. I never faced that before in my own country. We have a thinking that you go for an interview and then the recruiter will ask you kind of everything and then you're there to answer. Here I can see it's so important to you being prepared and have questions as well for the recruiter or the hiring manager, and strongly focus on impact and results. So far, this is the first point that I can see here in Ireland when we're talking about interviewers, the interview process. Uh, where most candidates struggle, this is not the proof, the truth in the country, but it's what I can see so far in having conversations with other members. Uh, uh, Candidates, they have a challenge to actually talk about what they did, and because sometimes in different contexts you can be extremely direct, but it can be quite generic, and this is quite challenging. Have a no clear structure to communicate and to tell what you did as well is another topic, another point that is extremely hard. And focus on task and not really on impact. So this is another point that I can see so far that haven't been quite hard for candidates, because uh, when recruiters or hiring managers they ask for uh, what exactly, please walk through what you have done so far in company X, and then when you start talking about tasks like bullet points, ticking box, it's quite challenging for them to understand exactly what are you doing, what is the impact, what is the difference that you're bringing to the business, what is the, like, okay, you're doing all those tasks, but what exactly that means, what type of problem you're solving in this business. So because the reality is most part of the recruiters they are not from the industry that they are looking for candidates, so they don't have the big picture about everything else. So the communication have to be extremely clear, and sometimes it can be a challenge, and great candidates they can miss good opportunities. So I'd say definitely there are no there are no uh, silver bullets for the question or for the challenge, but definitely something that I think is important. It is we understand that uh, it's really important you understand your capability, you understand even is get being really hard, you are moving for so many interviews and maybe you're not moving forward for the next steps. It not really means you're not capable or you're not well qualified or you're not the right candidate. But it's extremely important to you, first of all, prepare yourself for the position, have complete clarity in the job description, understand what is the challenge, what are the company looking for, what type of problem the company tried to solve at the moment, and say yourself as the best person and candidate to be in that position. So, but to get to that point, you need to understand really well your how strong you are for that position. What would be maybe the trick questions that you need to have a proper answer to answer properly, and understand as well. Sometimes we are not the best fit for that position. For we are not perfect for every single company in the country, so this is completely fine. I'm not perfect for all companies' positions. You are not as well. This is completely fine. This is not a problem at all. Uh, but then being strategic, being well prepared, and know exactly what are you talking about, understand the job description can be a key for you. And try be calm. I know it's not easy, but for me, what works it is doing yoga before the like the interview. When I was looking for a position, I was a new position was like doing yoga before, sometimes or was doing a walk before the conversation, trying doing something that you keep yourself focused and but then as well calm and not being stressed and try to remember everything because that can make you extremely nervous. And yeah, like you should be like okay, I'm going to this interview and they need me. I'm really important for them, so they need to I need to challenge them as well, because when you get to that point, maybe you can have a different result. So yeah, I'd like to just open this conversation because I know probably there are so many members that is facing so many challenges. And yeah, it's important to it's challenging for everybody, but being well prepared and then you get there. Okay, let me just change here the way I'm presenting myself, and then yeah, let's move. So I come back for that after our guest. Okay, I don't want to keep her waiting for too much. Today we will talk with Shriti. I hope I don't say her name wrong, and if you did, I'm really sorry. So yeah, I'm really happy to have you here with us. Let me bring you here to the show.
Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Hope
Oh,
everyone's all right.
thank you
Yeah,
so much for your availability. Thanks so much for your time and to be flexible to be here with us. I know it's probably a really, really crazy moment. It's everybody so busy. We have a long bank holiday at the moment. So then I'm really sure it's not easy for you as well. So yeah.
thank you so
So
much for holding the space for me as well to
um,
share my thoughts. So I'm
thank
really
you.
excited.
I leave you the stages for you. So then please introduce yourself. I'll be in the background, just listen to you. Sometimes I can come back and then I'll be passing the slides. So if you need
Uh,
anything else from me, just tell me and then I come back. Okay.
All right, perfect.
Thank you and enjoy. So let me leave here.
Yeah.
Uh, Perfect.
All right. So, hi everyone. I am Srishti. So, I am doing my master's currently, and I also work as a part time content and community executive for a brand that you might have heard of called Gra Chocolates. So I've been basically balancing my master's with part time, which has been really difficult. But at the same time, I have attended quite a few interviews, and here today I'm here to share about my journey and how I shifted also from being an architect to coming all the way to a new country and starting everything from scratch and being a marketer here. So, next slide, please. So, yeah, who am I? I would like to say that I'm a student of life, and I'm also a student in marketing, of course. So I am a very curious learner. So I'm so glad to have this space to come and learn, especially about the updates that we just heard earlier. So I'm really happy to be here and share my thoughts as well. So this is also me trying to say that this is in no way me saying that this the way I do it is right. It's just my thoughts and what has worked for me, and I hope it does work for people as well. So next slide, please. Yeah. So before I start the entire presentation, I want to start with the intentions that I have for the day. So, starting by saying that you're not alone in this journey. We're all here together as immigrants in a whole new country. I fully understand how difficult and daunting it must be to go through and face interviews and feel like you're a part of it. And the second is to not let self doubt have the last word. So, I believe that learning is what helps us get across our self doubt and be more confident. So, the third thing is to be honest about what the process is actually like. So, yeah, moving on to the next. So, we all know this that the job market is very, very different from, especially because we're all coming from different parts of the world. Nobody really tells you exactly how it's going to be in a new country, and every country has its own set rules and regulations and the way the people are. So I came here to grow and learn from people. So what I didn't prepare was mainly how different the professional landscape would be. So again, this is not a complaint, but it's just the fact that the rules are very different and the expectations are very different. So it's important to understand where this country stands before we approach interviews. And yeah, moving on. So of course interviews do feel really hard, and I'm here to share what I did and what worked for me. And I do have a an anecdote to share with you all that could potentially help you all. So initially, when I started giving out interviews, I didn't fully prepare. So I did learn from my mistakes, and what I started doing was I started studying the companies. So what I mean by productive stalking here is not just going through the website. Like, of course, there's so much more, something more deeper than the website. I think one of the best practices that I've started doing is go through the LinkedIn pages of the people who work there. What are they saying about it? So getting into the details of what people are saying about the company, and of course learning about the company's product. Are they a B2C company? Are they a B2B? What is the problem that they're solving? So kind of doing an audit of the company itself helps you really understand the little niche topics that they might not think already. And one of the best things that I have started doing is also building a story about yourself, really knowing. I think one of the biggest things that has helped me and again my friends is knowing where we stand with respect to our own story and approaching interviews as a space where we get to share our story. It's nothing too overwhelming if you actually reframe the topic around it. So if you think of interviews as, hey, this is just me going and talking to somebody and telling them how I fit in here and what are the who I am and sharing my story. So, for example, how I would share is the journey of me being an architect who was also doing freelancing while studying back in India. And I started creating my own content. And then that's what made me realize that that's where my true passion lies. And then I did some certifications, and then I got an internship at a marketing agency, and I worked there for a year, and then I moved for my master's. So I'm also getting industry knowledge, which I'm consistently applying to the job that I have right now. So I think building that story and knowing where you stand and self awareness is something that really helps, because that's what gives you the confidence when you're sharing everything. So moving on. Yeah. So this is a topic and a story that I wanted to share with everyone. So this was an interview that I attended just a few months back. it was a very interesting story. So I it was for a company that was working with software products, mostly like cybersecurity related, and I'm not as much aware of it. So it was quite daunting in the beginning. And it was for an internship role. And so what I did was I called my friend over who knew more about cybersecurity, and they helped me understand what the product actually means. So we went through the website, we learned about every little detail of the company. And initially, I wouldn't understand. So they explained it to me by writing it down for me and, like, hey, this is how it works. And I basically just shifted it into, you know what, I'm here to learn about this rather than thinking about what am I gonna say. I was mostly focusing on learning about the company itself. And of course, it does help that I have already, I keep attending some practice interviews, so that helps me bring the confidence about who I am and what I do. But it's also equally important to know about the company, because at the end of the day, they are hiring you to see how you fit into the role that they want. And it's fully okay that if you don't get the job. So I have always approached interviews with more detachment. I really like that Camila mentioned that, she does yoga before going to an interview, because I think grounding ourselves and just being present with what we're doing, the process, enjoying the process of the interview itself, is more important than the outcome, that is getting the job. Of course, that's where we're getting to, but I see interviews as practice. Like, even if I don't get the job, at least I got the interview, and this is just getting one step closer to what I really want to be, where I really want to be. So, sorry, the next one, please. Yeah. So small wins are still wins. Although I didn't get that job, I did get this job that I'm currently have, that is part time at Gra Chocolate. So here it all just depends on the alignment. So it has, if although it's very difficult to manage, my master's program and also the work, I think small wins are still wins, which is very important to recognize where we stand. Yeah, next, please. So, what actually helped me with everything, which I already covered a little bit, is researching deeply, not just knowing the basics of the company, going into the details. In fact, well, at the interview that I just spoke about, so the interviewer actually was really surprised to see me answer one of their very detailed question about what the company products are and what I understand about it. And they were really shocked to see that I know the technical details of the company, because not many people might have gone into the depth of the research, but that's what they really see, like, how do you stand different from any other candidate. So that's also only because I did the research and I asked for help. So reframing rejection, so thinking of rejections as something, okay, this is something for me to work on, so what's the feedback that I get from this. Again, the reason I didn't get that internship role was also because of the timing. So sometimes it's not always about where we are and what our skills are, it's just simply about because of the alignment. And practicing out loud, again, that's very important. I think always having a friend over helps you just bounce off of each other and share your story and build that confidence. And yeah, that's overall. The next one, please. Yeah, and now coming back to this, you're not alone in this. You all belong in this room, and it's always good to connect with people and learn from each other. So it might always feel very lonely, especially us coming from different countries. I think it's the best thing to happen is this community that we all have. And I think we all have to make use of what resources we have and, learn from each other. And I love that the WhatsApp community is very, very, um, you know, active. So there are always people asking doubts and discussing about AI and everything. So I think constantly being updated with new knowledge also helps you not feel so alone. Sorry, the next one. Yeah. So that's it from my side. That was a very quick and short sharing of where I stand and what I think about interviews here. So thank you so much. You can scan this QR code to connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you have more thoughts, so I do post constantly on LinkedIn and my Instagram. So feel free to connect with me. Thank you so much.
This is really, really good. This is amazing. So I, it's really nice here. Even though one of your best interviews was an interview that didn't got a job, you framed in that way because it sometimes it's so hard for some candidate, for some people. They are facing so many challenges, got so many rejections that they start feel okay. They just look at the I don't want to say negative way because it's easy for me to say negative way, but imagine you look into every single day rejections, emails that say no, we don't want to move forward with you at the moment. So like for the person, it's like a fact, it's what is happening at the moment. But then when they got the job, because they will,
Yeah.
then they see that was actually a learning moment, a learning phase. And it's really nice to see that you can see at the moment I didn't got the job, but it was one of the better interviews that I had so far.
Yes.
So those points, because those details definitely make a big difference for another interview when you maybe feel a better fit with the type of business, and then like have a mutual fit, because this is about open positions. It
Yes.
have to be a fit for the company, but it have to be a fit for you as well as a candidate. Have to be a win-win. So I'm quite curious. I'd like to let me stop here the presentation, and thanks so much for that. At the very beginning of your presentation, you said you were comment about how different was the landscape in Ireland.
Yeah.
So far, what is the most different thing that you could see that you could share with us?
I think for me, I would say it's a little bit more relaxed here.
Okay.
Yeah, at least the interview that it was more of a general conversation. So it didn't start off with tell me about yourself. I think it just started off, it was more conversational, which I really liked as well. But again, it also depends on the type of company. But I think nowadays the companies are also moving more towards the chill, like, hey, we're just here to have a conversation. And that also is something that I am very aligned with, because I believe that sometimes the intimidation can ruin it for us, make us more anxious. But having that, hey, this is just us talking about each other's and like coming to a conclusion together. So I think that really was the biggest difference for me.
Looks more everybody's kind of same level, isn't it? It's
Yes.
not much hierarchy in the
Yes,
interview.
exactly.
Yeah, in my country, I'm from Brazil, and then I I had more that feeling in Brazil as well. So looks like you are there, but you kind of feel like you are in a really really weak position, and the company is in a strong position. And I have that feeling as well here that we kind of have a more open conversation. We are kind of we'll be colleagues. So then why
Yes.
keep that distance between each other is not really good. Of course, depend of the industry. Some
Yes.
industries they have a different type of interview, some different position as well. So it's vary, but at the end, I think he is much more relaxed.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So about the interview, I'd say so. So for example, I didn't know about your company. I was looking to your details, and then when I saw your company, I said, "Oh my god, I want to try the chocolate. I never had that before." So this is good. This is
Yeah.
good. And then before we finish this conversation, I just like to ask you, what would be the message you'd like to share for someone that at the moment is actively looking for a job, but they never had a local experience, because we know how important it is in Ireland.
Yeah.
So you can have years and years of experience in the industry, but if you have no local experience, it can be quite tricky and challenge to you join for your first, like a work. So what would be your thoughts, or I don't know, like some tips I could give to those
Right.
members?
Um, that's a great question. I think it is, again, like I mentioned earlier, it is quite overwhelming to be in a new country. But if it's the first time that people are approaching interviews, I would say practicing, and knowing that self doubt is the loudest when you have the least information. So, having working on your information, like what do you know about yourself? What do you know about the company? So, having this perfect mix of knowing about yourself and about the company and your skills is the most important. And practicing self assessment, maybe even talking to therapists, or I think self awareness is my biggest tip that I would give out. And I think that's very important as a human going through life itself, having that balance of knowing about yourself and the company. Yeah.
And I agree 100% with you, because the reality is sometimes we are so focused in the job spec and in the technical side, and then the platforms that they looking for, that they want you know how to use. But the reality is, if you don't have the confidence, if you don't feel well prepared for the conversation, you can have the challenge to explain how good you are, and having not be able to explain and to show yourself. So even though you have so much experience using with all the technical tasks, but you won't be seen,
Yeah.
and then you won't have the opportunity. So being calm and know yourself and know what is the best way to make you feel confident and strong, and like with the energy to go and get that, it's something that can make completely different. And for some people, the most important maybe is go out and run, or doing yoga, or regularly have therapists. So for me, it's really, really important. uh and yeah, so I think this is a great advice. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being part of the community. Hopefully, I really hope see you in person events,
Mhm.
and as well in other conversations, in other meetings, online or in person. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Best of luck.
Thank
Please
you.
come back with new
Yes.
updates about your career. I want to see. For me, it's a such a pleasure when I see members, they just moving for the next step in them career. And I think this energy, it's about what are we looking for in our community, seeing everyone moving forward and have success and be happy in life.
Definitely. I fully agree. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All
Have a
right.
lovely evening.
You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.
So let's keep going. We had a great chat with her. This is amazing. This is really cool. And then, as you know, if you want to be the next guest here, please go to our WhatsApp group and answer Yulia. She's asking everybody who want to be the next guest, and she is helping us to make this lovely event, monthly event happening. So yeah, let's just come back to our presentation. Have other few things to share with you before we finish that. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, let me come back here. Perfect. Well, uh, coming back from what I was saying before about the interview process, this is more one tip that I'd like to give you too. Actually, this one in the next slide. Uh, what are recruiters and hiring managers are really looking for? For example, when we're talking about know exactly how to talk about your skills, let's say if you tell a recruiter or hiring manager, I worked on campaigns and emails, this is completely generic. So you can instead say that, try being quick or try and be direct, but not being specific. You could just say I manage email campaigns, focus on improving engagement and conversions, including testing subject lines and segmenting audience based on behavior. So you're saying the same thing, but in a completely different way. You tell how you are showing what you're doing, how you're doing, but not being that technical in platforms. It's actually show that you are able to see a problem, solve the problem, work on that, focus on optimization, and focus in results as well. Working with the for the optimization, then focus in results. So for Ireland, something that is extremely important for every single candidate. No, it is how to use the method STAR or CAR, that is put the answer in one situation, task, action, and result, or context, action, result. So it's definitely something that usually we talk more deeply in our pro member session. If you're not pro member, please just look at that in our sessions, in our chat on WhatsApp. But definitely you can look on ChatGPT, you can look in for that, you can chat with some members in the WhatsApp group. So feel free to look more deeply about this, because it will be key for you as a candidate when you're looking for a position. So then, as I said, if you want to be the next community guest, please just scan this carry code, fill in the form, and then we have one of our lovely volunteers, talking to you soon-ish. So moving forward, the news and some updates about the community. As I said, we have our pro membership for members in our community that they want being more focused in their career. So we have 2 workshops per month, and then for this month, we're gonna have the workshop called Outbound versus Inbound Leads and AI, when each strategy makes sense. GA4 Looker Studio dashboard, the more technical one. So one can be more strategic, and then we can look for some platforms, some softwares. The other one can be really purely technical, as this one will be. The last one, the previous one, was about um, how to create an event through Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics 4. So, and if you are a new pro member, then you can look at the previous sessions, because everything is recorded. And to finish lovely in a nice way the session for the Inspiring Marketing, I'd like to give a shout out to Deborah. So Deborah, she was one of our volunteers. She's just brilliant. She supported us a lot. And Deborah, she finished one important project, that it is rebuilding a website, an entire website for a B2B company. So well done. She shared it today in our WhatsApp group, and then a lot of members, they were reacting, as you can see here, a lot of hearts and celebrations. So well done. And of course, we have Miran here. Miran, it's so active in our community, and Miran is having here, she's with the community jumper. Now Miran has a community jumper, and I don't have a community jumper, and I'm the founder of the community. Well, she's the boss. And then she was one of the organizing of the startup, the Weekend Women Dublin 2026. So well done, Miran. So yeah, I just would like to finish this session with our message. If you're not a member, register member. It's free to be a member. Just scan this QR code and join us. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here with us tonight, and have a lovely evening. Enjoy. Now we are having more long days. So, oh my God, I can't wait for our celebration of the year. Usually is in July. I tell you when you're gonna be. Usually we're going for a park, and then we have a picnic and in the sunshine, and have a nice in-person meeting. So it's getting there. It's getting there. We're getting there. So thanks so much. Have a lovely evening, and see you next Wednesday. So bye. Oh, actually, sorry. See you next first Wednesday of the month. Okay, for next Wednesdays will be for the pro members. So anyway, we are in the WhatsApp group every single time. Thanks so much, and